All right, another Metal Monday, and it's funny how much can change in a week. A week ago, we were sitting here. Hey, I think we found our new where copper's gonna be 450 ish, 460 maybe, and then the shitstorm just. What happened? What happened? To let everyone know.
Never get too comfortable, I guess. With I've had a lot of people hitting me up about hedging lately, saying that maybe I should look into hedging. And I feel, I see where they're coming from, and there's some super smart people out there that's what they do, and they're much smarter than me.
Because a lot of scrapyards, most scrapyards don't hedge. The people I talk to.
I think like big processors do because they have so much. A lot of brokerage houses, hedge.
Mm-hmm.
We basically hedge with our physical inventory. So for us, there's opportunities where we could, if hindsight's always 20/20, where you should have hedged, at a certain number, but you also, if you do hedge, you kind of miss out on the upside.
Exactly.
So it's kind of that knife cuts both ways.
Yeah.
And as long as you're willing to stomach the L, just like you are going to pat yourself on the back for the W, then I think that depends on your volume, depends on your business model, depends on your cash flow. There's just so many. Everybody runs their business differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, it's all situational. But yeah, last week the FOMC came out and basically said they're going to at some point start tapering the helicopter money and maybe think about raising rates in 2022.
Yeah, 23. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
what's
so,
weird to me.
I know,
That affected the market and it's so far away.
But it just shows you how global and how big trade. There was obviously China came out and said that they were going to try and curb some of this inflation on their end with commodities prices, food being one of them, but also base metal commodities, and open up the reserves, which the last time they did that I think was 2005 on the copper end.
So what does that mean? Does that mean they actually physically sell some material off?
They physically sit on XY. I don't know the total amount, but they sit on material.
A certain amount of tons that they
basically
sit on.
almost as their own inflation hedge, right?
Yeah.
As because they're such a manufacturing driven economy that's slowly transitioning or quickly transitioning, depends on how you want to look at it, into a consumer-based economy. Well, because they've still lean very heavy manufacturing, they sit on, reserves of food, reserves of base metals, reserves of, commodities in general. So basically what they just came out and just said, we're going to release some reserves, sell some reserves, add some metal liquidity to the market, and basically hope to stop the price movement up. And they did.
They were vocal. That was their plan.
But the reality of it is if you're trading and you're selling off on that, in my opinion, this is 100% my opinion, then I think you're super short-sighted. Because if for right now, the mantra is, okay, risk back on, the stock market's moving up big time this morning. Okay, we don't have to worry about inflation. And if you agree with that, then you probably, should sell. You probably should exit, some material if you're long. It probably is, if you really believe that to be true. I don't believe that to be true. I believe that it's inflation, that game is going to get sparked up again. You saw lumber get whacked last week, and I think that people are thinking the same thing, with some of these other commodities. But I don't believe that. I believe that, this is a trader's market right now. And I feel like the markets came off because it has been hot for the last, 12 months. And just like anything, everything gets its, its momentum trades. And I don't know.
You never see just a constant up. There's always little dips in it, and then a lot of times the trend will go back up.
And you just have to determine, is the new trend down?
Yeah.
Or is the new trend still up? Is the new trend sideways? And you as a company, you as a trader, you as a individual electrician or plumber or whatever, you have to decide, is this a blip in the market, or is this the new normal?
Feels like a blip to me. And we saw, just so everyone that doesn't follow it every day, we saw copper fall around 40 cents last week. you know, which is a big movement. You know, so all those good buys from the prior week went to shit, you know.
Yeah.
So you're like at best cutting even on some of those buys, and that's what we do for a living. We're used to it. But everything else still fairly strong. You know, nickel dipped under 8, but aluminum's still really strong. I mean, rhodium got its ass kicked too. I guess that's the other one. Copper and rhodium are the ones that really got
palladium.
And palladium, yep.
Palladium got whacked.
Yeah. And I see palladium up $92 today. You know, things are kind of recovering. We'll just see how far that goes.
It depends on how long term is your outlook, I guess.
Yeah.
And, you know, what did you buy it for?
Yeah. And that's why as a company, you got to find that sweet spot. We want to take care of our customers, but our business is difficult.
Our prices go up and our prices go down
Yeah.
because we're buying off the market today, right? So,
yeah.
and that's what your customer base has to understand is if your price isn't moving, then whoever you're selling to, they're not adjusting their price. They're not giving you the upside like they should. And I think that's the difference. So we're gonna move our prices up when the market's up. We're gonna move them down when it's down, and we're gonna try and stay in tune with where our prices should be.
Well, you know, hopefully next week we give everybody good news that everything went back up 30 cents, 40 cents, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We won't hold our breaths. Maybe 450 copper might be a reach again. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I still think we get to 5.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
See you.